It's Toronto Hydro crews that have really taken over the scene now. You can see some of the trucks just over my shoulder there. They are attempting to get down to the vault where this fire started today to try and determine exactly how this happened, the extent of the damage as well. Now, at the peak of this incident, during the height of the afternoon rush hour today, there were huge towering plumes of black smoke coming up out of the ground here. You could smell it from blocks away all around the financial district, and you could hear as well for probably about half an hour around the 6 o'clock hour, a series of bangs that were coming intermittently. We understand those were explosions of some kind happening underneath the surface of the road. Toronto police were also warning people to stay away from manhole covers out of fear that some of them could be blasted out of place from some of that pressure. I got here about 20 minutes after the initial fire and experienced some of that, but one of our colleagues at CBC in a media production job actually was here right on scene during the time of that first explosion. Here's what he saw and heard.
I was walking home from work and I walked over the grate, and 5 seconds later heard an explosion. I thought maybe it could have been a car accident, but again, nothing I'd ever heard like that before. I turned around and there was a big plume of brown smoke coming out of the grate, followed by 3 or 4, maybe 5 more explosions.
And Mike, as for the investigation, those Toronto Hydro workers are again still trying to get down in there to find out what happened. They are looking at whether or not the rain, that heavy downpour that we got a little earlier today in the afternoon, may have been a factor. They actually had to pump out quite a bit of water from the vault. We understand about 30 centimeters worth of water, so that definitely may have been something that may have had something to do with what we saw here today. Here's a little more from Toronto Hydro about how that investigation is going to unfold.
It's going to involve taking a visual, view of what happened. It's going to be our specialized crews going down there, cleaning up anything. It's going to be quite messy down there, as you can imagine, quite toxic. So the crews are just going to have to start with the visual inspection, but then they'll be looking at, maybe there might be some signs that give them some clues about what happened.
So as those crews finish their work, they're trying, Toronto Hydro says, to get done and cleared out of here in time, but it will be the decision of Toronto Police as to when King Street is actually reopened tomorrow morning, if it is. Mike?
Well, let's hope they get that open for rush hour tomorrow. Okay, thanks a lot, Nick.